Welcome to Hobby Nonsense, everybody. It's your boy, Sports Boy, with your second boy, Ray. Boy, we need a nickname.
Some would say their first boy.
That's fair.
Depending on who you like more, Ray or Jesse.
I made an assumption that I was first boy. It was simply just naming in time. I'm sorry, Ray. You can be Alpha, and I'll be first now.
We'll all
switch.
Okay.
How about that?
Alpha boy.
You want to be Alpha boy?
Probably not.
Yeah, I feel like
we'll think of it. We'll think of a name.
I don't know why, but I just feel like if there's a hashtag out there that you
hashtag Alpha Boy.
Yeah, I feel like it's not good.
Yeah, it's not good. Don't
search that. Hobby Nonsense is the name. Hobby Nonsense is the game, if that's possible. This is all about non-sports cards and collectibles. Appreciate you guys being here. It's a interesting day, and I told Ray when he came in, I was like, he asked, how was the SCN pod? Because I always record on Mondays is record day for me. It's SCN and then the Hobby Nonsense
Double
pod.
duty.
And he asked, how did it go? And it's weird because by the time you guys hear this will come out either Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. And the other one comes out Monday evenings. By the time you guys hear this, it'll already have come out. And it's kind of a depressing episode.
Really?
A little bit. Because we talk.
Are you feeling okay? Do I need to cheer you up?
Man, I really
tell
appreciate
you
that.
A funny joke?
Do you have a funny joke?
I don't have a funny joke.
Dang it, Ray. Psyched me out, bro. I would love a funny joke at all times, just so you know that in the
Just
future.
put it down in the comments. Put your favorite funny joke in the comments.
That'd be great. That being said, though, it was just around what had happened in the news last week with the whole memorabilia scandal, fiasco, giant news in the hobby, where there's someone who's been essentially outed. He outed himself first, and then, unfortunately, unalived, I think is how you use that with social media. He unalived himself shortly after that, which is very, very sad to hear. Because it became such big proportions. We're talking, he's saying hundreds of millions of dollars worth of memorabilia that has been forged and faked. And it's not limited to the sports world, which is interesting. And I found out it is largely the sports world, but there are many people who apparently fake entertainment autos as well. And so today, one of the guests that we had on that show, I wanted to bring on here as well, which I don't usually do. I don't like to cross-pollinate all that often. But today I wanted to do it because I think he would be good as far as like a spotting the fake type of segment, where he hasn't done a lot of entertainment fakes himself, but his name is Cliff Panezich, and he is a former forger. I guess that is the easiest way to say that. He went to prison for a number of years because of this. He's paid his debt. He's out, and he is giving advice as far as what guys and girls can do to avoid having this happen to them. Basically, just being taken advantage of.
So he's like out to help the people now.
He is. I think to some degree. I don't know if like that's his like go-to like means of income, but at least like on the side, he was more than happy to come over here. He said he's made some posts about this too, but apparently there are things that you can kind of do, at least know, is the autograph I'm looking for, is that going to be more susceptible to being faked?
That's interesting.
You know, certificates of authenticity and all that kind of thing goes with it. It becomes just a large issue at the end of the day. I am very interested to see what kind of advice he can give us. But that'll be here in the next few minutes. Before we get to that point, I figured we could kind of go through something that would be more in line with non-sports cards, because we've talked about a number of different kinds of new releases recently, both Pokemon and your entertainment cards. I think that one thing I was trying to put myself in the mind of someone who was just listening to this pod for the first time, because we are getting a lot of new listeners, which is awesome. But it's like, okay, we've talked about a lot of things that we like about cards, some of the sets that we like more, characters we like more. I thought what would be interesting too is like, hey, what does this actually like resell for? Like because there's so many times where I'm doing a break and guys come in and they're like, I don't know anything about this product. What am I chasing? And inevitably the first answer is always like, well, who's your favorite character? And weirdly enough, there are people these days who are getting in who are like, I don't know any of the characters, or it's like, I'm doing I just did my last case of 2025 Topps Chrome Marvel last
And you had a
night.
huge break, I saw.
A
huge card that was pulled.
So it was the biggest card I've ever pulled.
Ever. Even
Ever
more than the
pulled.
Winnie the Pooh?
Even more than the Winnie the Pooh.
Really?
The Winnie the Pooh ended up selling at auction, I think, for around 7,000 or so. I'm actually kind of like, in hindsight, I think now that card would probably go for a little bit more. But that being said, I pulled a out of 5 Spider-Man, red Spider-Man, and it's more than likely going to go in the 5 figures. That's the estimate, at least.
Really? Like 100 G's?
So that was one of those things where it's like, okay, what if I wanted to come in, I'm just like buying into a break because I want to have a little fun. I want to maybe chase a character and or an insert. What might I be looking for? And I thought, hey, for some of the more recent products, maybe we could talk about that.
Could you explain for the listeners, and I know when I first came into the hobby and hearing box breaks,
Mhm.
like what is essentially like a box break? Because it's different for sports, non-sports.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because even with Pokemon, you can do a booster box break and buy into like an energy card. So like any Pokemon that's like that energy card, you get that. But
Yes, okay.
could you explain to the listeners maybe a little bit?
Sure. So basically, you are taking a box and or case of boxes,
Oh, okay.
and then breaking it down based on some component, whether that is the character, maybe it is a team that they are on, if it's a sport. It can be a number of different ways to individualize those spots, but I like to do character breaks because it gives the guys and girls who love, Han Solo, or they love Wolverine, or whoever the character may be in the product that I'm breaking,
Mm-hmm.
gives them the opportunity to collect that one character and not, a bunch of characters that they don't necessarily care for. Now, there are some, like specifically for the Marvel break that I just did last night, I have letter breaks as well as individual character breaks. So it'll be like there's some people who do just strict alphabet. So it's like the first letter of their first name. What does it start with? That is the alphabet letter that it would go to. So you'd buy, if I wanted all Miles Morales, I'd buy the M spot.
Or the Spider-Man, the S spot.
Yes, exactly. Okay. But in this situation where I did the break last night, there were some spots where it's like a number of characters that aren't as big, not as popular. People aren't just jumping to buy those spots.
Jeffrey the Shark?
Now, Jeffrey the Shark was a huge character in this break, and actually, it was kind of like a sleeper character. I don't think a lot of people were expecting it. It's a cute shark. It was drawn very cutely. I mean, there is an audience that appreciates that kind of thing. And in this case too, there was also, I believe it's a TV show or something that maybe it's a video game. Several guys told me that Jeffrey the Shark was featured recently in some Marvel entertainment. And that is one of the reasons why it's also more popular.
Gotcha.
So, but that being the case, breaks are broken up, just as the word implies, broken up cases and or boxes so that you don't have to pay for the full price of that case and or box.
And if the character that you are buying into in the break, how do you set the price? Is it a auction price, a buy it now price? Where does essentially what... Because auction price, of course, the market's going to set the price. But if it's a buy it now, how do you come up with that number?
So essentially, it's a number of different ways, and it depends sometimes. So it'll be taking the cost, what it cost me to buy the product,
okay,
and maybe it's just dividing it up evenly between spots.
Gotcha.
Sometimes it's that, and with a margin set on top of it, so you're actually making money as well.
So, like, let's say you buy a box for $1,000, you want to make like 30%,
Then I'm charging probably $1,500 because a lot of people forget there's also a platform fee that goes on top of it. So you got to take that out.
Okay.
So if I'm wanting to make like $300, then I got to charge a little more over that. And also you got to charge a little bit more over that a lot of times, because if you're doing a break where it's like 200 characters, like the Marvel one I did, there's a lot of times where it's like, all right, you got to start wheeling and dealing. You got to build in there maybe a little bit of discounting so that you can offer some spots. Like I'll bundle spots together.
A couple characters together.
Yeah, I'll bundle like, hey, you want that spot and that spot? I'll bundle them, and then I'll be like, all right, if you want that, I'll take off like $5-10, whatever the case may be.
So like R2D5,
That if someone wanted
and like
a more rare character that is not as chased, then yeah, that I like to give a little bit of discount. But I also have to kind of build that in because if I'm not planning on that, even though it's like my break may be priced cheaper than anybody else's, it's the mentality of buying into a break where they know they got some kind of deal on it, and I still want to give a deal. I at the end of the day, I like my breaks to be on the lower side of overall cost.
you're here for the people.
I mean, I let's face it, I'm making money on it, and I'm not going to try and hide that fact. But at the same time, it's like, well, I want to make money, but I don't want to be seen as someone price gouging or using this platform or the Facebook group size to advertise these people and then take advantage of them. I want
Gotcha.
them to feel like, oh, not only did I have a fun time because it was entertaining, but I also feel like I got a good deal. So
And they're buying from someone that they listen to, that they
hopefully,
watch.
yeah.
And,
Hopefully
you know,
that's the case. But so breaking in general, it all comes down to the product itself and what you're trying to provide to the audience. Would you because you want them to feel like they got some kind of deal in there where instead of buying a box that costs $550 outright, they only had to pay maybe $40, $50, and they got that character that they were chasing out of 12 boxes. You know,
yeah.
it's a nicer overall feeling for them, and the breaker ends up
And
being
you
a lot of
auction
money.
off the individual character. I don't think you
No,
ended up.
sometimes you can. You
You
can.
can,
I'll do
like
it
for
buy it now
instance,
for
like the
most of them.
Spider-Man,
So
because that's
so
probably
yeah,
like a pretty sought after character.
yeah. Actually, and I'll just mention our guest is just joined, so we'll end up bringing him on.
Yeah.
We'll continue the conversation afterward, as far as like some of the more chased individual inserts or characters in some of the more recent products that have released. But to answer your question, Spider-Man was just purchased outright, like
Gotcha.
ahead of time. The spots are available. You go in there, you buy your spot, and then by the time the break happens, you get whatever cards that have Spider-Man on there. Yeah, it's pretty
Nice.
simple from that point. I like to keep it simple at least, but yeah, it was like a
The
10.
kiss method.
Yeah, and you know what? I made a little reel. I posted it on the Hobby Nonsense page. It's gotten a lot of views, which is awesome. But I had Tops reach out too. I think they may make a little video on it
Oh,
too.
come
So
on.
that's pretty cool. Okay, so that's the positive side. You know, this just conversation in general is already turning me happy again. Now that Cliff is coming, I'm afraid I might get a little depressed just because of just how widespread all this was. But at the same time, I think we could all make this hobby better and grow from this experience. Yes, it's a negative thing that has happened. However, what can we learn from it? And that's why I wanted Cliff to come on today. What can we learn as a hobby that will help us not let this happen to ourselves and or others in the future?
Facts.
So Cliff Panezich, we're gonna bring him on. All right. So here we are. We've got Cliff Panezich with us here to talk about what we can do to help educate ourselves and possibly avoid the pitfalls from coming that come from trying to chase an autograph that we're just not sure is real or not. Now, Cliff, I talked to you offline and we talked just now about, I know you're not like big into the entertainment autograph scene, but that is a big part of what guys in the non-sport card and memorabilia side of things, they chase, just like on the sports card of things. They want the actors, actresses that are in the movies, that are singing the songs, that are doing the things they like to basically represent their work by signing it in some way. Now, what we didn't get to talk about on SCN very much was maybe some ways of spotting a fake autograph and or maybe things that are something we can know that is a telltale sign that that autograph is more difficult to fake. So right off the bat, do you know, are there things that guys can look for that would say like, oh, there's a chance that this could be faked?
Yeah, I mean, so to me, as someone that was on the other side of it, um, and I'll touch like sports wise a little bit, but it's the same thing. It's always the complexity of the signature. So if we look on the sports side again, I know we're talking entertainment here, but someone like Derek Jeter, right, was
Mhm.
somebody that I wouldn't touch personally because the complexity of the signature. So when you dive in and you see guys, whether it be sports, whether it be entertainment, actresses, musicians, whatever, if it's a very simple autograph, like it's almost certain that you need to stay away from it unless you're dealing with something that you see signed in person or some kind of controlled environment where you're purchasing it for an in-person signing at an event. Because the reality of it is, even when I did it in sports and other guys out there doing it, a proof picture, isn't proof of anything, right?
Yeah.
Guys would go out, I would go out, and I would have a proof picture of, whoever signing a jersey, and I would even use a picture of the authentic item to sell on eBay, but then ship a replicate or a forgery. So
Wow.
yeah, so there's ways around it, and again, I mean, I'm at the point where I have enough knowledge on it where if if I'm going to tell somebody how to be 100% certain that an autograph is authentic, it's going to be you have to see it with your own two eyes.
And I know you had mentioned previously on the SCN pod that you are not one that ever used like an auto pin yourself. You actually had these autos practiced and you did it by hand. Now, is there, when it comes to say an auto pin and or doing it freehand, is there a way that maybe makes it more telling? Like if they pick up the pin multiple times, is that harder for you as the person trying to imitate it, or is that more difficult for an auto pin to be able to replicate? Do you know?
So I don't want to speak on auto pen. I've never used an auto pen.
Okay.
Never tried it. Nothing. But for me, the more pen strokes it is, the easier the signature becomes.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Yeah, because I only have to duplicate one line or one pen stroke at a time. So the example I always use, again, I'm crossing back over into sports just because that's my more knowledge I have. Bryce Harper's early signature when he was coming up was like 9 different pen strokes. It was a B, then a line, then half of the H, then the other half of the H, then another line. Well, I don't have to memorize, in theory, the whole signature to be one fluid pen stroke. I just have to study, practice the B, the formation of the B, then the line that crosses the B, then the H. So when you're looking at a signature, um, if it's a more complex signature that's one pen stroke, first and last name, full signature, one pen stroke, it's a lot harder to be forged, uh, especially by hand, not using an auto pen by hand. And in that case, you're going to be looking for something like a pen stop, right? If you see where maybe the ink's blotched, not necessarily blotched, but a little darker, as if the pen stopped or marker or whatever it may be, that's a clear indication that it's a forgery that was done by hand by somebody that doesn't have the signature completely down, that had to stop their pen stroke, look back at the original, and then continue. So that is one way to
Oh,
tell on something that might be more complex. Uh,
interesting.
but but the big problem is that a lot of the signatures out there are not complex.
Yeah.
They're very simple. They're not every letter full name, and that just makes it it's easy for someone that's would have been on my end or is on my side of it nowadays.
Now, the fact that you weren't really involved in much in the entertainment side of getting, forged signatures from celebrities, is that because the just wasn't as much demand or the price wasn't there? Because it does make me wonder, like, how insulated is the entertainment slash non-sports side of the collecting community to maybe what has been going on at large, at least with Brett Lemieux's case and some other bad actors that have been caught recently?
No, I would say it's not insulated at all. And I did some of the entertainment, um, and it was more like movie release times. So back
Mm.
back when I was involved in it, it was things like the Batman movies being released or the Avengers, and at those times you're hitting those actors. So for me, it was more comfortable being in the sports realm just because you're trying to hit the industry when a player's hot, and I'm just familiar with the sports industry and what's coming along. So it was easier for me to kind of know what was going on. But yeah, I wouldn't say the entertainment industry is insulated at all. It just takes someone that's more up to date with what's going on movie drops or album drops or anything like that. Because you're just trying to hit a peak time where you're going to have buyers in the market that maybe wouldn't necessarily be buyers because they're going to be, the more less skeptical, more unknowledgeable buyer that you're going to target. So it's not insulated at all.
Now, that is unfortunate. I was really hoping you were gonna say, "Yes, it is." But, uh, we talked about on the previous pod as well, JSA seems to be a little bit under fire because of the
Mm.
fact that there are a number of autographs that they will go and check against to see, hey, is this a real one? And some of those have even been called out as being fake. Some to what you mentioned were some of your own autographs that they were comparing against. So at the end of the day, if I am just, guy at home wanting to get an autograph of Michael J. Fox on a hoverboard, which I do want that. And I'm like, oh, this guy's selling one. If I go out, is there somewhere, like, is there a resource of like autographs that people keep? Is there a public thing where I can go out and check myself? Or is it basically just like, hey, I'm taking a chance here because as we know now too, the certificates of authenticity can be faked.
Mm.
Yeah, to me, it's the autograph industry as a whole is kind of a weird realm to me, right? Because it's all based off of value. So, uh, man, it depends what side of it. If you're a legitimate collector and you want to know 1,000% that the item that you have sitting on your mantle or on your wall is absolutely authentic, you need to go find the guy yourself or an event where he's sitting down and you're going to witness it being signed. Now, if you're somebody that is an investor, a reseller, a flipper, even a collector in some regards, but you buy and sell whatever, at the end of the day, if it comes with that certificate from JSA, PSA, Beckett, that's still the gold standard in industry and the value is going to be there. So in the reality of it, does it matter if it's real or fake? Like not
Mm.
really as far as value in the industry. And that's where the whole industry is so convoluted and it's really beyond repair in my opinion, because whether a Bryce Harper autograph, again going back to the sports realm, is real or not is not as important as whether it has a JSA authentication with it or no authentication. I could have a real one that I got signed in person, not authenticated, is worth less than the fake one authenticated by JSA.
That's crazy.
Man, are there autographs that are known? Like, and if it's okay if it's sport, I'm just more curious. Are there autographs that are known to be more easily duplicated? Like certain players, like specific players or anything, or entertainment people?
Again, to me, it goes back to the complexity of the signature. There's some, and I'm sure this is a lot more in the entertainment realm. I believe I think a lot of not a lot, but some musicians like Taylor Swift specifically, I knew back then had like a team that like monitored her sales on eBay and everything. So
Oh,
some of
wow.
that stuff's more scrutinized. So like players, when you cross back into sports again, just because that's what I know, like players like Jordan and Griffey and Jeter were very heavily scrutinized. So aside from the complexity of the signature, you like forgers, myself included, would stay away from those players. So
Interesting.
like I would say, because what I know about Taylor Swift, and again, this is like 10 years ago, because she had a team behind her that monitored sales and what was getting pushed like through eBay and secondary markets, I would feel more confident that if you were buying something online of Taylor Swift, that it's more likely to be genuine and authentic because she has her own team on it. I still don't think that necessarily guarantees it,
Yeah.
but it's a higher likelihood than maybe some other artists or musicians that are out there.
I do appreciate that. I hadn't thought that they had their own kind of teams keeping their eyes out
That's
for
good.
fake stuff.
Well, it's I don't know if it's necessarily like for the good of the market and the industry, or if it's more so like them trying to preserve their own value,
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah,
So
but
you don't know like where the motivation comes from, but still, I think it does the industry good in that regard.
so kind of, I guess, same topic, but switching gears a little bit. If I was to go out and look right now, I would go to, like, if I looked for an autograph of somebody I wanted. If I went to Amazon, I would find tons of autographs, especially on the sports side of things, of players with certificates of authenticity, and it came out pretty quickly. Like Brett Lemieux was selling things through different LLCs that he had created through those sites, and others have as well. Are there sites that may be more used by forgers or places of marketplaces that they'll use more often than others?
Well, I think eBay is obviously the main platform just for like ease of use. Like if and this is the sad reality of it is if I wanted to wake up tomorrow and start the operation again, I could,
Yeah.
and it would be on eBay.
Wow,
And
that's crazy.
if nobody was involved, uh, would probably most likely get away with it for a duration of time.
Man,
That's
that
just the sad reality of it. So eBay makes it super easy. Some things have changed in that regard since back when I was doing it, as far as like um, account security or I mean, geez, 10 years ago you could open an eBay account with
yeah.
fake name, and use a fake address and go get a green dot debit card at Walgreens, and that's what you use to open the account. So it's changed in that regard some to make eBay a little bit harder, but it's all able to be circumvented very easily. Amazon, just from my knowledge of Amazon, that not necessarily in the autograph realm, but they're more strict on how you get ungated to be able to
Yeah.
sell in a lot of different categories. I would assume autographs as well. So
I've heard
that would be a
eBay's
little bit more difficult. eBay is just so easy start like to start up. Like just open the account and you'd be up and running by tomorrow.
and I think eBay with maybe in light of some of this news, maybe they had some preemptive knowledge. I don't know, but I feel like in the last few months they've been taking some additional steps to try and fix some of that. It's interesting how many people seem to have like kind of known like, oh, this was coming ahead of time because and maybe they didn't know for sure. I'll give them credit, but at least like the last few months, I feel like from Upper Deck, from Fanatics, from eBay, we've heard a number of people who have been working on their security measures, like how they secure and authenticate their different products and items that they sell. It feels like they kind of are were seeing the writings on the wall, like that this could be coming down the line, whether they knew specifically or just like you, Cliff, had seen just how easy it was and knew they needed to take action. But to your point, I think there's still plenty of opportunities for these people to do this. Um, would you recommend eBay or Amazon over like Facebook Marketplace?
I mean, you know what? I would actually veer towards saying uh, Facebook Marketplace is probably a little bit safer. Uh,
Really?
and the reason I would say that is because when I ran my crime, I sure wasn't going to meet anybody face to face.
Hmm.
I
Oh,
was
interesting.
I was much more secure behind a screen with a
Yeah,
fake name, unknown, unbeknownst to anybody around me. So, um,
That's
a
interesting.
somebody that's selling forgeries isn't going to meet you in person. Now, that doesn't mean that the item they have, unbeknownst to them, it's already a forgery that
Sure.
maybe they got scammed on and they're reselling. So, that's not, that's always very much in the realm of possibilities.
okay.
Um, but the person that's actually selling the item, I would be way more confident that they actually think it's legitimate.
Man, yeah, Cliff, it's this conversation kind of rocked Mike and I after the first podcast. And now, even now, like I was telling Ray, I was like, man, I was kind of depressed after the last pod because it's like it just seems to be so prevalent. And I'm here thinking, like, oh, well, you know what? We're talking about non-sports, we're talking about another side of the hobby, but to think like, oh, people still want, Chris Pratt's autograph on a Guardians of the Galaxy poster. They still want, movie stars signing their DVDs and or cards. And it's like, okay, well, why wouldn't it also happen there? And I guess I was just kind of
Agreed.
hoping it wasn't the case. But
No, I mean if there's money to be made, it's going to be prevalent. And I don't know if there's a solution out there. Like I mentioned to somebody, I think I was talking to Darren Ravel, and the solution to me is that AI needs to be involved in the industry.
Hmm.
But I don't
Interesting.
I don't think we ever see that happen, because when you turn the authentication process from $100 fee per item for some big company to a $5 phone app, whatever it may be,
yeah,
it's just not going to happen. The powers to be won't let it happen. But I think if there's an answer, that's the answer. And I don't know if that's in the realm of possibilities with AI at its current state, but it probably will be or could be. Um,
Yeah.
and
Well, the only
and
problem
they're
with that with good also would come bad because it's like, hey, I want to. I'll buy your autograph, but I want to see like a video or a picture. It's like, go to one of these websites, like, hey, AI, make a video of this
Oh,
guy signing
right.
this
Gosh.
card or whatever. It's like there's going to be ways that
well,
guys can also manipulate
yeah, I
it.
don't necessarily mean that. I mean more so, right now the authentication process is reserved to a specialist or whatever you want to call them, even though I don't necessarily agree that they have any level of expertise. And you turn it into, a computer program.
Oh, I
And
see what you're saying. So the
where,
ones who are actually telling you, is this real or not, doesn't need to be subjective by an individual. It needs to be a computer program doing
right,
that.
it's
Yeah, I
complete.
can
Yeah,
get behind that for sure.
exactly. You turn it completely into AI, a computer program. You upload a picture of the item that's in question, and you have your answer.
Yeah.
But again, when you turn it into an automated process that is going to cost pennies, where I don't know how much you could charge for an app like that, but
Yeah.
when you take it out of the realm of whatever it be, $50 an item, $100 an item, where you're employing real people and there's this big, massive conglomerate behind it, and you turn it into an app, now there's a business, multiple businesses that don't have their valuation anymore. So I don't think that would ever happen. And
Yeah.
Mm.
we talked about, you're talking about security measures. Some of these companies are in place. They have to save face.
Yeah.
They have to say they're changing their security measures. They have to
Yeah.
say that they weren't complicit. And I'm not saying the companies are complicit in what's going on, but they have knowledge. They
Mm.
know. I mean, and like I talked about earlier on the previous podcast, the FBI has knowledge in my case 10 years ago that JSA is either complicit or doesn't know what's going on or has no level of expertise,
Wow.
and they chose to do nothing about it. You even look at my case. There's alleged 25,000 victims, allegedly, uh, but you'll never find a name of not one victim because none of them were ever contacted. No one was ever tracked down.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah.
criminal side of it is they get their conviction, and then the whole case goes away. And this is a little different, being that Brett Lemieux obviously is not going to be part of the ongoing process. But to me, it's going to be very much the same thing. Like, they'll get their conviction, they'll get a storyline that gets blasted for however long, and then things kind of trend back to normal again until the next one blows up.
Well, I do. I mean, that's the thing. If nothing else, maybe there is something that gets taken from this for people to be more cautious about, to be at least, not just so trusting that just because, oh, they say it has a certificate of authenticity. Oh, well, that must mean it's 100% guaranteed. At least this will give others an opportunity to know what to watch out for and be more skeptical. And at the end of the day, I don't really know. Like, I think, like you said, it could be one of these where few months from now, we're not thinking about it anymore. Or maybe a few months from now, we're all much wiser and the autograph industry becomes a lot more valuable because we realize, oh, all the ones out there we can't trust. We got to start getting brand new ones, and we'll only trust it if there's a video going along with the exact auto at the time. Like, I don't know. I don't know
It's
where this
scary.
leads us, but it does make me question a lot of things. So
I mean, to me, it's the biggest part of it is there's a lot of, I think, ignorance and arrogance in the buying market that a lot of people just assume they know or think they know more than what they do.
yeah.
Whereas, and we talked about this. Like, I've tried helping guys. Like, I try and answer questions. I try and I'm in a lot of these groups. It's funny, and I actually came across one time someone posted in one of the groups, whose signature is this? Identify a signature type
Yeah.
thing. And I see the three baseballs, and they're baseballs I signed.
No
Oh, that's
way.
crazy. It's like, oh, it's
And
mine. It's my signature.
right, obviously. And I contacted the person and told him, hey, this is what the signature is supposed to be, but it's not authentic. And multiple times, this has happened multiple times. I've tried to buy items back off of people. It was like, let me know what you paid for it, when you got it, and I'll just buy it back. But those conversations never go anywhere. They never go well.
Yeah. No, I can
But
see that for sure. Yeah. People just
that's where it
assume,
goes.
man.
Yeah, but I go into these groups and try and answer questions about eBay and like some of the scams going on, and no one's really receptive to it, and that's a big problem. If you're not going to be receptive to what's actually going on, you're going to continue to get scammed.
Ignorance.
Just because I'm not in the industry doesn't mean 30 people didn't take my place.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
100% true. Well, if nothing else, I feel like we're doing a part in notifying the audience that
scary.
listens. That I don't know what else to do other than like, hey, this is real. This happens. Now be on the lookout.
Yeah, Cliff, I do have a question for someone that might be listening. Like, let's say, what would be the best, I don't know, way to purchase an autograph? Like, if I were to want to purchase an Undertaker autograph, what's the best thing to look for? What am I looking for so I don't get scammed? So I know that what's the best way to maybe 80% authentic, just enough to make me feel better, especially after listening to something like this.
I mean, again, I'm going to repeat the same thing, that as a collector, if you're truly, truly, truly want a piece of memorabilia on your wall that is real, you need to find him doing a signing somewhere, or find somebody that can be at a signing that he's doing that's going to go for you,
Gotcha.
whether it be through one of these groups or whatever, some kind of proxy that's going to go get it for you that you trust. Other than that, like, there's no way to be certain. But again, I touched on, there's two different sides of it. If you're, a collector that resells and buys and flips or whatever, doesn't matter if it's authentic, if it comes with a piece of paper from PSA, DNA, JSA that says it's real. Doesn't matter,
man.
And that's you could argue that it doesn't. Again, an authentic signature without a JSA certificate is worth less than a fake signature that comes with one. So that's the way to treat that.
Here's the thing, Cliff. Both times I'm going to leave this interview feeling like accomplished, feeling like we talked about something worth value, but at the same time I'm feeling depressed because it's like it is such a large part of what we do, and you, not because of you, but it's just a simple fact of saying things that probably many people would say, "Oh yeah, I knew that," but now it like just really opening it up and having a conversation. It's like, oh, now I can't pretend like that's not real or not a possibility. Now I have to be like, oh no, it's very much real because everyone now knows. So,
and I touched on this earlier. Like you said, it's kind of depressing, and it is. I'm not someone that just I rolled out of bed one day and conjured up some scheme in my head and was like, I'm just gonna sell fake autographs. I was very much in the industry, legitimately out there hustling and flipping autographs, and it was me taking a raw deal on a scam. I got scammed, and then it was make back my loss, and then just snowballed for a multitude of reasons, and none of it is an excuse or a legitimate excuse, but that's how it happens. But I was somebody that was fully in the industry, and it is depressing because now I look at it, and as much of a sports fan as I am, and as much as I'm in the sports realm, I would never buy anything. I would never buy anything. I would never partake in the market. I'm never trying to buy and flip and resell. I have nothing to do with the autograph or sports memorabilia or card market or anything, and I never will.
You know what? I did appreciate you. I think I saw one of your social media posts where you said that King Griffey Jr. was one of the autos that you wouldn't do because he was like a childhood, favorite of yours.
Right here.
Oh, you got a little.
Here.
Oh, that's cool. So yeah, I think that's notable. I am curious. This may be on a little lighter note. Are you ambidextrous?
I'm not. No.
Okay, because I always wondered, like, what if a guy's like left-handed or right-handed? I feel like that would like sway how the auto goes. It's like, oh, I can only do like right-handed guys or something like that.
Huh.
It should, right? It should, and that's again where I think if we talk about like AI becoming involved or some type of application like that you should be able to tell the difference.
Yeah,
like somebody should be able to tell if I signed. If you sign your name left-handed and I duplicate it with my right hand, you should be able to tell.
Yeah.
But these guys, these so-called experts, I never had an issue with it.
If the guys, these experts that are looking at these autos, do they get paid either way? Like if you're asking them to authenticate something, I assume they get paid just to look at it. but like, are they getting paid more so if they say, yeah, it's real, or
So it depends what side you're on of it. Like if you're an individual and you send one item to JSA and whatever their fee, or JSA, PS, whoever, and whatever their fee is, you're getting charged their fee no matter what.
yeah,
If a company comes to my house and I have 3,000 items, they're charging me for the memorabilia that they authenticate, and they're just passing me back anything that they don't authenticate. So yes, it's very advantageous for them to pass everything. Not to mention that um, if they didn't pass anything, I'm not doing any more business with them.
yeah, that's a good point too.
And that doesn't matter whether the stuff's real or not. You know, if they really scrutinize stuff, if I was a real collector and they really scrutinize stuff and there was stuff that they couldn't pass, you know, I'm not going back to them.
Mm.
And so I think when they're doing the bigger the order is, the more leniency there is.
That is enlightening, and it does kind of go to the bigger issue of who's your expert. You know, what are you using as your expert? Because if you're using a person, it sounds like it can be very subjective, especially when there's money involved.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think, and this is completely, you know, I guess different industries, sort of, but the grading system, the card grading system, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why is that not done by something that's non-subjective, like a computer program or an application?
Yeah,
Like, why can't that be figured out? You put it in someone's hands, or if I send one card in, I'm less likely to get a good grade than if I send 500 in. That's just the nature of it. It's all money driven. And while these companies at the top are that money hungry and don't really have concern about the industry itself, like it's just not going to change.
and we're back to the feeling depressed, and that's not your fault.
That's wild.
It's just crazy. It is what it is, though. Hey, Cliff Panezich, thank you, really, again, because I mean, I know you don't like to promote this. This is not like your day job. You don't go out there and try and right all the wrongs from the past, but you're at least like coming on doing stuff like this, and we really appreciate it, giving warnings to people who have no idea about how any of this stuff works. So thank you very much for that.
No, I appreciate you having me. And like I said, when it's productive and helps with the community and industry, like I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Unfortunately, it doesn't always go like this. There's a lot of nonsense out there, but anytime I can help, like I'm all for it.
Awesome. Well, hey, Cliff, thank you again, man. And maybe we'll talk again here in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Open to it anytime.
Awesome.
Appreciate you, Cliff.
Yep. Have a good one, guys.
You too. So there you go. There was Cliff. It's right. Like, does that not make you like walk away feeling like a little icky?
Yeah. I'm like thinking when he's talking, I'm all the different autographs that I have on my shelf. I'm like, was I there when he signed it, or did I buy it off of eBay?
Yeah.
And it's funny that he mentioned Taylor Swift. And even before this story broke, I had a friend reach out because she knows that I buy, resell, and stuff that we went to high school with, that she has a ton of Taylor Swift stuff that she had signed when she went to school.
Oh, really?
And she was looking to
Who
sell
is this?
it.
Do I know who this is?
Haley Lambert.
Oh, really?
Lambert.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So she reached out and she was like, hey, I have all this Taylor Swift stuff. I have guitars and CDs and all the stuff that she signed for me in high school. And I want to sell it. Like, what would be the best avenue to sell it? What do I need to do?
Yeah.
And the first thing that I said was, well, get the signature authenticated through JSA. But knowing that for sure, there's like a, what do they call it? Like there's like a history in the signature. Like she got it authenticated. She went to high school. There's pictures of them together.
Yeah.
Like there is a provenance.
Yeah.
That's the word, I believe, that the signatures are legitimate. But for someone that's just like Cliff and what we were talking about, just looking for a Taylor Swift signature on eBay, I mean, it's like the Wild West apparently now.
It really, I mean, like, for anybody who's like curious about this too, and these could be 100% legitimate, but if you like go to Amazon and you look up, like I was doing, I think I was doing some sports ones. In fact, I'm trying to see if I can remember what the specific person was, but bottom line was, if you look for someone who's like a popular quarterback or whatever, and you look for signed memorabilia of that player, I would see across multiple different sites autographs that looked almost identical. Like it was like a
It's
T
like copy
in there
and
and then
paste.
another one, and it's like I don't see how I've never signed anything the same way twice. Like there's always like
Well, you're not signing like
I'm
thousands
not
of
signing
autographs.
thousands. I'm usually more in the hundreds. That's fair. But when I do sign, I feel like even if I'm signing multiple things back to back, and maybe it would change, but it does make me just question when I see these autos where it's like they're almost identical across multiple items. It's like, how? Like is
too
that,
perfect.
it feels like an auto pin-esque situation, but yeah, I don't know.
Who was he saying? Derek Jeter? That was one of the ones to stay away from.
Yeah, I believe so.
I actually looked up Derek Jeter's autograph because I didn't know what it looked like. Because that's some. I remember him saying that in a reel that I saw. Derek Jeter's autograph is crazy.
Is it really?
And it is one continuous stroke.
That's crazy. Yeah,
And
that would be bad then in that case. Yeah, it sounds like. Well, no, one continuous would be good.
he said it was bad. So
I thought it was like he said if it's one continuous line, that makes it harder
for it to be forged.
To be forged
Or faked.
Exactly, because when it's multiple individual lines,
He can just worry about this line right now and
Yeah.
then do this line.
That's right.
But if he has to keep the pen on the paper, and that's what he was saying, that if they saw a little, like at a point, they almost stopped the pen.
Yes.
Just to kind of like,
let me double check. And then you pick
there we
back
go.
up and go. Yeah, because I'm looking at some Derek Jeter autos right now, and it does look, for the most part, it is just one continuous loop throughout it.
It almost makes me want to
to
change up my.
I know.
signature.
I need to get a better one. But anyways, spotting the fake with Cliff, that's going to be probably the title segment for the show, because I do think whether you're a sports card fan, whether you are a non-sport, whatever collector, if you care about getting autographs on your stuff, which I know a lot of guys do, and I know a lot of guys send stuff in for signings, it's like, have some kind of backup, have some security that goes with it. This is my thinking, is like, I want a video over the shoulder of the guy the entire time, and I want each piece to match up with the video.
Dude, it's wild.
I mean, I want to see.
But even to your
there.
point, with AI being the way it is,
yeah, if someone wanted to fake something, yeah,
it's a lot of work.
So hey, you know what this makes me think of? Facsimile autos in the 2025 Topps Chrome Marvel.
We ain't
Not
gotta worry
looking
about
so
those.
bad anymore, is it?
Right?
All you people saying how stupid it is that they have these fake autos. Well, guess what? I know it's fake, and I don't have to care because I wanted it that way.
Mickey Mouse.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to downplay the seriousness.
What would be some of your Grail autographs?
Grail autographs, like that I have, or that I would
just
want?
that you want? Like,
specifically what I mentioned. I want and still want a Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd signed
together.
Yes, signed hoverboard, like a life size, not a small, not a miniature one, because they have those too, and you can find these things. But I'll tell you, like, I don't want to name the name. We were once sponsored. The SCN Pod was once sponsored by an auction house that they gave us like plenty of just signed material. Like,
that's cool.
Signed posters, or not posters, framed pictures, signed jerseys.
What did you do with all of them?
Some we would give away.
Okay.
One or two I still have, actually. I have a Shaq jersey in my closet.
That's cool.
All of them.
Like the Lakers or Magic?
I think it was actually Lakers.
Okay. Or Heat.
Yes. And I believe all of them were JSA authenticated. I'm not going to lie to you. Don't really know. Don't know if I can trust any of those, and it's not any.
Don't you wear Shaq clothing?
Oh, baby, don't get me started on Shaq stuff.
I didn't even know Shaq clothing existed.
For the bigger man, I'm just telling you, especially if you're looking for nice clothes, I am all about my Shaq shirts and my Shaq pants, okay?
Where do you buy? Is it like Shaq?
Oh, you know.
Threads.com?
No, he's franchised, baby. He's out at like JCPenney.
Like DX. I think what's the big man store?
Oh, I think that's DXL or something.
Do they sell them there?
Oh, I'm sure. I would think so, but I've never bought them there. I think I got them from JCPenney almost every time just because they have so many like good deals when I go to buy. It's so weird to admit that I'm buying.
Not only
their dress
I think
clothes.
it's more embarrassing that you go into a JCPenney than buying Shaq.
Oh, I don't go
clothes.
in there. I don't go in. I buy it all online.
Okay,
and then I'll send it back if it doesn't fit. But that's the great news. Shaq stuff, it's kind of stretchy. It fits. You know what I'm saying? Not sponsored by Shaq brands.
But hey, Shaq, I'm looking at you.
Hey, Shaq, I'm looking at you, and I'm just saying 6'4", heavy set. I like your clothing. I think that I could represent it well. Now, Ray, not as big in either category.
I'll take it.
But I feel like he could appreciate it.
Yes.
The one thing I don't appreciate.
I like a good stretchy pants.
My dress shirt doesn't come with a pocket, and I like a pocket. Now, I get that it's a cleaner look without a breast pocket. However,
that should be like default, right? Like
that's how I like
shirt.
I like my button-up shirt with a little pocket.
Fun fact. Did you know, and I know this because of reselling clothing, did you know that a woman's button-up shirt, the buttons are on the opposite side?
Fun fact, I do know that because I've tried on women's clothing.
All right, Michael Scott.
That is a joke mostly, but I also have accidentally tried on some. Accidentally.
What is Shaq's wife's name?
Clothing? That is her brand. Yeah, of course. Let's go back. I had the transition. I was so close.
I'm sorry.
But then we got off track. No, it's not your fault because I followed you down. But when I made the facsimile autos with Marvel, I was going to transition over to that. But kind of going back before our conversation with Cliff, we were talking about this. The matter of, more recent products that have come out. What's the more chased items?
Yes.
We'll just hit a few of the more recent products, some that I've broken, some that I haven't. One specifically, let's start with Marvel. Spider-Man is the biggest chase character in that product.
Out of the Topps Marvel set.
Exactly. Yes. You also have like Wolverine. Last year, Iron Man was like second, and then it was Wolverine. This year, Wolverine seems to be the more chased one, and then Iron Man. And I think, again, this kind of goes back to the artwork. Last year, Wolverine got butchered. Like the artwork just wasn't great in 2024 Topps Chrome. So this year, I think people are chasing that a little bit more. Same thing with a few other characters. Like Captain Marvel is more chased this year than she was last year.
Really?
Yeah. Again, artwork just a little bit better. Emma Frost as well. And it's weird to say this, but I feel like this is the only thing I can really pinpoint. The more attractively they were drawn in this year's product, if it was better than last year's, it seems to be going for a higher value.
You know what's funny about that too? In Pokemon, there's a term called waifu.
Waifu? Okay.
The women trainer cards that are more attractive or more sought after, and they call them waifus.
This whole episode, I'm just feeling dirty.
I'm just saying.
It
relates. So
no, it definitely
some of those are worth a little more because of that reason.
Okay. Well, now we know that, and that's good because that's what all this is all about is,
Check out the Skyla card.
Well, the Skyla card?
Which
product? Just any? She's always dressed to the nines?
I think it was in Hidden Fates.
Oh, okay. All right. Good to know. That being said, Marvel has some other big hits, and this kind of transcends both this year and last year's product as well. But the facsimile autos, whether you like them or not, they are still very chased. They are very well liked. The fact that they do it in a style that is like kind of like what that character would represent, like Spider-Man has like webs in it and Wolverine has claw marks in it. So it's fun. People like it. We know it's not real autos, but it is an artist interpretation. So that being said, though, the claw marks in the auto, not Jean-Claude, the claw marks from Wolverine in his auto may not be real, but the Claude Chrome marks are very much real. So a lot of people, we've talked about this before, the Claude Chrome are the ones with the 3 lines through them. Some people I see on like the non-sports cards nonsense group, they're posting pictures of their hits, and guys in the comments are like, oh, why would I want a card with holes in it? And I'm like, you understand, like, this is not like, it's not a hole that someone just poked through with a pen. It was supposed to be there. It has a purpose, but that being said, the Claude Chromes have been chased after. I thought they would maintain value a little bit more, but as I look through like some of the top sales of the product, I have not seen as many of the top the Claude Chromes in the top purchases
Echelon,
this
the
year.
tier.
Yes, but that doesn't mean like they're not still chased after. The other one, Reflections. Reflections is a very chased card. That is one where it's like these original art pieces of Wolverine, Galactus, Doctor Doom, Spider-Man, and I'm forgetting one of them, but I think there's 5 in total, but there's 5 different variations of this, and these are very, very chased after. They're super short prints. Those are also ones that if you get any of those characters in one of these Reflections cards, bound to return value. It depends on what it's numbered out of. It can be numbered as I think out of 25 is as high as it goes. It could have been 50, but that being said, the one I'm looking at, some out of 10 Wolverines have sold for like $4,000. And just to put an idea on some of these autos, so there was back July 8th, what is that, like 2 weeks ago? There was a Hulk, Spider-Man, Wolverine triple auto that was out of 5, sold for $4,100. There's a number of other ones, including like the Ghost Spider Psylocke Black Cat 1 of 1 sold for over $7,000. You know what? And I forgot the Wolverine Chrome Clawed. So Wolverine's card that has the 3 slashes through it, that specifically has done really well. Because it is Wolverine himself. So that one like just sold 2-3 days ago. It was out of 10. That one did 4,300. So yeah. So that's Topps Chrome Marvel. Switching gears a little bit, going to V-Friends. V-Friends is still very popular. They've got another product coming out here soon, like a sticker product that is tied in with Steph Curry. So
what's the deal? What's the deal with that? Why is Steph Curry?
I'll tell you when I get more details.
Is he signed
on it,
with VaynerMedia? Like, what's his?
I'm sure there's some
association there.
Yeah, some deal they've made to work out where he
Vader
gets a piece of this. Maybe, yeah, could be. I don't know exactly, but he is definitely on the marketing materials. He is signed in the product. He is very much.
That's a good way to get the kids, man. Because Steph Curry is.
It's nice too because they must have gotten something worked out with NFL PA or the NBA PA because it's licensed. There's Warriors logos and stuff on there. So. And maybe it could be because it's not a card, but it is technically a sticker.
Does Topps own the license to the NBA?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe that's
so. That's not true. No? NBA until October Panini? Is still Panini.
Oh wow. Okay.
And then after that, it goes to Fanatics.
Oh, okay.
But I'm pretty sure they have exclusive rights in both deals for cards. However, since this is a sticker, I think they may have been able to work out something.
It's just weird how they do that sometimes. Like for instance. If you look at a Star Wars Funko Pop, they're always like on a stand.
Oh yeah,
because Hasbro owns the rights to make the Star Wars toys. Oh. So Funko, because putting it on a stand is considered more like a collectible instead of a toy. So that's how they can get, and they're always bobbleheads.
Really?
So that's how they can get away with the.
I didn't know that. Yeah. That's very interesting. Yeah, the funny things people do to get around the licensing laws, which. You know, maybe it ends up being a cooler thing overall. I do like Funkos. I'm not. That's something that we should probably do sometime.
Funko Pops?
Someone who knows a lot about Funko.
Yeah, let's do it.
So Topps Chrome V-Friends, if you are into that, chasing any of those, obviously, and this kind of applies across the board. Superfractors, people love them. You know, if the product has a superfractor, which Topps Chrome I think always does, go after a 1 of 1. That's a big chase. Of course it would be, but. What else is? Because that's going to be harder to hit. Your black cats. It's technically, I think the name is very, 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 very lucky black cat. Those have eye color variations. So if you got one that's yellow eyes, I think that's the standard one. But then they've got different ones that are going down from like, I think 4,000 down to maybe, I don't think there's a 1 of 1, but maybe like out of 10 or something. I could be wrong, but check your color eye variations on your cats.
Is that the only difference out of the card is just the eyes, or like the back of the card is the same color as the eyes?
No.
Just in the stickers are different.
My understanding is just the eye color is the difference, because it could be like a base card. Because what's funny about it is there are parallels that are numbered. So you could have like a cat that has, yellow eyes and it's like 20 out of 100. But then you could have a cat that has purple eyes that is 22 out of 100 or something like that. That's my understanding on how that works. So color eyes is a variation that people are looking for in that. After that, it's sketches. People love the sketches in that product, especially if it's like a Gary Vee sketch. I've talked about this a few times, that empathy elephant that BJ Kroger, a buddy, had pulled. It's up on Fanatics Live right now. I think the auction ends this Sunday, but they're expecting that to go 5 figures or so. But those sketches do really well. That was a Gary Vee sign one. The other ones that are tending to do well are the Entrepreneur Elf cards that are lower numbered. Again,
Entrepreneur Elf.
That's the ones like where it's like his friends and or him. Like he's on one of them. Gary Vee himself is on one of them.
Gotcha.
That's right. It's like real people, not
real
characters.
People. Yes.
And then you've got like these ones. They are Game On. It looks like a Game Boy.
Yeah, those are cool.
Like a shadow box.
And those are going to be in the sticker product as well?
I don't know if any of these are in the sticker product.
Okay.
This is just
the V friends.
The Topps Chrome version of it. So those are some of the better selling ones. There are a few other characters that hit a little bit better as well, but the Black Cat is the one that everyone chases. I think Moral Monkey, Logical Lion, those are a few other chased ones, but there's some other ones on top of that. It's kind of hard because there's so many, and I'm not as familiar with all the characters. That could be again another.
How many characters is there? Do you know?
I want to say 200 something.
200.
I want to say 200. Let me.
I'm curious if they. It would have been fun if they did 151. Kind of like a
that. Yeah, like a hey, we see you, Pokemon. We're coming for you.
Yeah.
According to this, 268 unique characters in the original Series 1 collection.
They're dropping new characters all the time.
Apparently they're adding more characters, very similar
Season
to the
2
Pokemon idea. All right, so that was your V Friends. The more recent release, and you made a piece of content about this that's up on our socials, was the Superman release. That was from Upper Deck, the Fleer Brilliant Superman. As you go through, of course, one of ones, that's the purple explosion. Those do great, but it looks like I think you even mentioned this in your video. Powered by the sun.
Powered by the sun.
Those inserts are doing a little bit better. This is not big money. This isn't multiples of thousands of dollars. This is like 10, 20, 30, maybe a few $100. The product just released. We haven't seen any huge sales by any means, but again, it's also much cheaper. So if you are going to Walmart, you're picking up a box, keep an eye out.
It was fun. It was fun to open.
The cards look good too.
Yeah, I pulled was it a blue laser or blue mist?
Oh, is that what it was?
Something like that, and then like a red. I can't remember what the
There's
parallels
a red Phantom and a blue.
It's something. I didn't know if you have it over there.
I wish I was actually looking as you said it, but I can't find it. But anyways, yeah. So obviously, that's a newer one. We'll keep an eye on it to see what continues to grow. One that came out earlier in the year. Again, this is one that I talked a little bit about. 2024 Topps Star Wars Masterwork. Masterwork is very chased for both sketches and autos. So of course, those are what you're looking for a lot of times. But the characters that you want are going to be your main characters, but not every main character, surprisingly. The female characters seem to be doing much better. Again,
I wonder why.
Natalie Portman, she had a out of 10 auto on wood that did like $3,200
that's cool.
Back in May. Just a couple weeks ago, there was a Boba Fett sketch by Chris Penix that did like $2,700. There's a number of these that, again, if it's a lower numbered and it's an auto of a bigger character like Mace Windu or Harrison Ford or somebody like that, a lot of times those do well too.
And that's Harrison Ford is in this.
Actually, I say Harrison Ford, but let me just double check. I actually don't know if he was.
I was just wondering because a big name here.
Well, there's a lot of. That's the thing. What they have been doing is I don't think Harrison Ford signed in here. If he did, it was only going to be on like a dual or a triple auto or something like that. I don't have all the sales sheets in front of me, but it does come down to, is the character big? Do you know the name? Have you seen that character? Like this is, and for people who already collect and know, this is, you're probably just tuning out at this point. But for people who have no idea what these products are, what they look like, why they're collectible, this is good to know, because I've been running into this more and more. Guys don't get into it because they don't know what to chase and what to go after. So
that's what, when I was opening that box of Superman, the first thing I looked, okay, what do I need to look for? What is the chase?
Yeah.
So when I open it, when I get it, I know exactly what I'm looking at.
Yeah, it's funny that sometimes, like, hey, does this have good eye appeal? Does it look cool? Because sometimes that alone will kind of indicate, like, oh, maybe just double check and check the value, especially if it's a sketch. If the sketch looks great, you probably have a decent shot of having a sketch that's worth a few hundred, if not more.
Yeah. As I opened the Superman, a couple other packs I opened, they have an insert with the comic book covers of old Superman comic books.
Yeah, yeah.
Those look fantastic. They're not worth anything, but I think they look
That's cool
awesome.
though. Yeah, I like that. Man, that'd be cool if it does. I love when, like, little things that people don't think have any value all of a sudden just jump in value when it's authentic, not like someone manipulating a market. But yeah, like, well, this, you were pretty much guaranteed that this was going to have some value, but it's like the R2D2 and C3PO. They had these metal insert cards in there that were legitimate, like made of metal. They were heavy.
Oh, that's cool.
But they go for $1,000 sometimes, depending. I think actually they may all be out of. No, they can't all be out of 5, right? It's like 1 in 1,000 boxes, I think, is what you pull these. So I don't know how many of them there are, but they're really cool. Just card shaped pieces of metal that one looks like C3PO, one looks like R2D2.
That's cool.
And they're
like
they're very cool and collectible.
It's like a metal plate, like almost like a sketch.
Yeah, but they've got like there's texture to them, so you can like feel like the buttons on their I don't want to say suits. What would that be? Their
bodies.
Their bodies. Yeah,
their suits.
So anyways, that was
exoskeleton. I don't know.
A few of the bigger and or more recent releases. There's a few pieces.
What has been your favorite Star Wars product to open and break?
Ever this year?
Yeah, ever.
Well, here's the thing: Masterworks, Antiquities, and last year's Galaxy product have been the most memorable to me.
Okay.
Masterwork this year was fantastic. I love the mini box situation. The fact that there's like 4 mini boxes, you get like either a sketch or an auto in just about all the mini boxes, and or another piece of like a short print inserts, and there's not many of them. It's pretty low produced product. So I like that. And I like that they're on card autos most of the time too. Galactic Antiquities was awesome. It's just so expensive. It feels very similar. Like it feels like you're getting a lot of the same thing in Masterwork as you got in that product. Granted, there were some things that had an extra premium to it. But the Galaxy product that came out last year was just like, it had so much unique art to it that I honestly feel like, as far as just from a how does the card look point of view, that is still my favorite. It was just there weren't like autos that you were really chasing. You were just looking for like numbered or low numbered parallels or something of the card that you liked, but the artwork itself just looks so good. And I like that product specifically each year because they continue to do like unique or product specific artwork, not like found outside of it. So
that's cool.
That's all I've got on that. There was one other thing, a couple other things I did want to mention. Our sponsors, Courtyard and DC Sports. Courtyard basically has let us know Hobby 10 is the new discount code you can be using. So discount code is going to get you 10% off any of the card packs that are $25, $50, $100, or even like the $200 comic books. You can use this 10% off code. It's Hobby 10. Very simple. But hey, you don't want to type it in. All you want to do is like click a link. Perfect. Go to our Instagram page. There's going to be a post up in the Facebook, the Non-Sports Cards Nonsense Facebook group as well. We'll have a post there where you can basically just click the link and go and do it. So any first timers, you get 10% off. But then every time, no matter if it's the first time or not, you're going to get 90% fair market buyback offer on any card that you pull. So you're guaranteed to get some money back if you're not going to keep the card, or if it's a huge hit and you're like, oh, I'll cash out on it. But you can have that option on no matter if it's your first purchase or your last. Now, I will say they did give me some credit to buy some cards. To basically this is how you know it's not, this is how you know they're pretty authentic with like how they do this, how this process is
transparent.
Yeah, because they're not giving me just like, hey, here's the nicest card in the vending machine. Let's you make a pretend video and you pull it and be super psyched, and then we'll give it away. What they did was they did give me basically 4 $50 credits so that I could go out there and buy 4 $50 Pokemon packs, and I did. I went out before the show and I bought 4 of them.
Did you record yourself? You need to do that.
I recorded myself.
Oh, nice.
The only thing is I didn't pull any card that was worth more than $50.
Oh.
So it's like, okay, well, that's just how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
I will say for 4 pulls and not hitting one I don't think I've ever had that, but I felt okay with the fact that it wasn't my money actually that was going through it. But if I wanted to, I could send it back. I'd have enough at least probably for 2 or 3 more pulls if I just immediately sold it back for the 90% buyback. But instead, I'm going to pass it along to you, the listeners. I would like to send all of them. I think they may just have me send 1 or 2, and then ship another one to myself just so I can get it in person and experience that.
Yeah, we can show it off.
Yeah, exactly. So these are the 4.
Okay.
And I would like you.
Top 4. Jesse's top 4.
These are the top 4 picks or top 4 cards that I hit in the vending machine. Ray, I want you to tell me what you think is the best. And
are you
want
the audience on the screen or?
I want the audience to tell me as well what they think is the best. And whatever is the best one to you and the audience, that's what is going to be given away. And we'll give more details on how to do that. So here's your first card. This is a 2022 Pokemon Sword and Shield Starbirth. It is a PSA 10. It was valued like the 90% buyback was like $23. So it's probably like somewhere between 25 and $30. There was also
who's that handsome fella up there?
Don't look at that's your sports boy right there. 2019 Pokemon Sun and Moon Remix PSA 10.
Roller skater.
That one has got a $41 buyback, so I think that may be the most valuable one. The next one was a 2025 Pokemon SVP Black Star promo PSA 10 of Vaporeon. This come
of a poster collection.
Buyback, 90% buyback was $27. And then the last one was a 2021 Pokemon Sword and Shield Evolving Skies Flareon VMAX Full Art PSA 10. Buyback was $37 on it. So those were the 4 cards. What do you think, Ray?
I like the trainer card, the roller skater, but I'm a Evolutions kind of fellow.
Oh, okay.
So I like that Flareon.
The Flareon? Okay.
I like the Flareon.
We'll see what everybody else thinks. That will be the whatever card gets chosen, that's the one that we'll give away. Essentially, all you have to do to enter is when you see this post, whether it's on Instagram or on the Non-Sports Cards Nonsense Facebook group, all you have to do is put in your Courtyard username in the comments, and you're entered to win. Again, Hobby10 is the discount code if you guys want to try it out for free anytime. Last thing. Oh, and DC Sports was the other one. DC Sports at the National. They're going to be in booth 2120. They do have the National special. Essentially, you get there, you want to sell something same day. They're going to have people there set up to be able to do that. But they're doing this for cards that are over $50. They'll do it at no cost. And if it's a national exclusive, they'll do it at no cost. So go check them out. Booth 2120. They will be able to get your cards up as fast as possible.
Nice. And you're going to the National, right?
I am.
When is
the National is not this coming week, but the next week. So the 30th through the 3rd of August is when I will be there. So Wednesday, and I'll come back on Sunday.
Okay.
It'll be fun. I look forward to it each year. I'll get some content. I wish you were going next year.
Next time.
Next time.
You need to bring some hobby nonsense stickers or some merch or something.
thank you. I need to get some stuff printed. Honestly, I don't have anything. I don't have
So we
anything
can give it
printed.
out for the people. The
I
people
know.
have
I
been
wonder if I can
asking.
get something. Maybe I can still get something. I'll try and do it tomorrow. That all being said, there was one other piece of news was just that Pop Mart is just so big. They're bigger than like Mattel, and they're bigger than multiple different companies combined. And I had this
Like all the toy Mattel.
so it was bigger than Mattel,
Hasbro.
Hasbro, and Sanrio combined. I'm not sure who Sanrio is. but-
Sanrio is the Hello Kitty people.
Oh my goodness. They're bigger than that?
So that's what I sent you. They are doing a collab here soon. Sanrio Labubu.
And you said that they give cards away with the purchase.
Correct.
and
When you
PSA 's starting
open
to
when you
grade them?
open up the Labubu blind box,
Yeah.
there is a trading card in there, and PSA is starting to grade those.
That's insane. I keep bringing up Labubu. I know it's not like a popular collectible for a lot of people out there. Well, I mean, a lot of people
for the
listen
whole
to this.
world, it's
For
the biggest
it
toy.
is. It's
We just
true.
said it.
It is, but for the people that probably listen to this, I would guess like it has not been on your radar to go get yourself a Labubu, but
If you can find one,
that's probably the reason why it's not on their radar. 'Cause
there
they
is
can't even see
now
'em.
a Pop Mart vending machine at the Cool Springs Galleria Mall.
Wait, Cool Springs Galleria is still open?
Yeah,
No, I did know that. I think.
yeah,
That's insane. Is there really?
there is.
That is like the richest mall around here, though. If you didn't know that already, but yeah, in the Middle Tennessee area.
What the other one, the Hillsboro Mall, is the one.
Is that nicer?
That's the
than
one
Cool
with the
Springs?
Louis Vuitton and all that stuff.
Oh yeah,
I know
yeah.
that there might not be a JCPenney Shack store in there. That's probably why you don't know. But
All right. On that note, that's the end of the show. But yeah, there you go. That's the news. That's what's going on. Thank you to everybody involved, especially you, Ray, and thank you to me, Jesse. Really appreciate us.
third person.
Little finger back at you. We'll be back next week, and then it's off to the national after that. So, Ray, talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon, Jesse.
Goodbye.
Bye.